Once more, Jake Paul finds himself engulfed in controversy, facing a storm that could spell the downfall of his career as a YouTuber-turned-boxer. New claims have surfaced online, alleging that Paul orchestrated his high-profile fights, including the blockbuster Netflix showdown with Anthony Joshua, with some corners of social media even suggesting that he and his brother narrowly avoided arrest over these supposed schemes. Although promoters and officials firmly insist that professional bouts cannot be staged without legal repercussions, doubts about Paul's legitimacy in the ring have reached an unprecedented high. This marks yet another dramatic chapter for a figure whose past legal troubles already include an FBI raid on his Calabasas mansion. With accusations swirling and his boxing reputation under intense scrutiny, many are now asking, could this truly be the end of Jake Paul's meteoric rise? Numerous boxing analysts, former fighters, and promoters have long questioned the legitimacy of Jake Paul's fights, even before the latest arrest rumors emerged. From opponents deliberately chosen past their prime to unusual fight pacing, delayed knockdowns, and contracts rumored to contain restrictive clauses, critics argue that Paul's rise appears more manufactured than genuinely earned. Veteran voices in the sport have repeatedly emphasized that while Paul generates massive attention and revenue for boxing, his matchups often steer clear of real competitive danger, fueling doubts that the results may be orchestrated to protect the brand rather than test true skill. As these suspicions grow, each new controversy adds weight to the overall narrative. It increasingly appears that Jake Paul's boxing journey has been shaped more by optics, leverage, and control than by the unpredictable ferocity that defines the sport. The mere thought that Paul's fights might be prearranged casts a serious shadow over boxing's authenticity. Previously, the bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul captured widespread attention for its intensity and spectacle. Rumors of a leaked script suggesting that the fight had been pre-planned sparked a frenzy online. Alleged audio recordings seemed to support claims that key dramatic moments, including Tyson's apparent fatigue leading to Paul's knockout victory, were staged. Following his victory over Mike Tyson, Jake Paul shared his thoughts and reflections on the fight. Following his victory over Mike Tyson, Jake Paul shared his reflections on his performance in the ring. Confidently discussing the fight, Paul remarked, "I didn't get much punched or hurt," emphasizing his belief that he had dominated the match with minimal resistance. Many of Paul's fans celebrated the statement, viewing it as evidence of his skill and readiness to face even legendary opponents. However, critics were quick to highlight the lack of drama and danger in the bout, arguing that Tyson's performance was underwhelming and questioning whether the contest was truly fair. The recent fight against Anthony Joshua drew similar criticism. Commentators described the matchup as absurd, pointing out the vast differences in experience, size, and pedigree between Paul and Joshua, with some labeling the event more of a spectacle than a genuine sporting contest. A YouTuber-turned-boxer with a 12-1 record facing a former two-time world heavyweight champion who has battled elite competition throughout his career seemed, to many, a lopsided affair. Critics argued that Paul appeared to be more of a cash-grab opponent than a legitimate challenge, further fueling speculation that the event prioritized entertainment over authentic competition. Jake Paul is entering this fight with a level of confidence that has surprised even veteran observers. Recent commentary notes that he radiates belief in his ability to rise to the challenge and secure victory. Unlike some of his previous matchups, Paul approaches this fight with intense focus and determination. Analysts monitoring his preparation emphasize that his mindset is crucial, reflecting a blend of physical readiness and mental resolve. This suggests he is not underestimating the magnitude of facing a former heavyweight champion, but is embracing it as a chance to prove himself on the world stage. "I'm here to shock the world and inspire the next generation," he declared. Speaking from the Heat Arena, Paul added, "I'm a big Heat fan. Miami is on fire. My first pro fight was in Miami against Gibb, and I'm bringing that same energy here. First round KO." However, Jake Paul's rising confidence in the boxing world has also drawn skepticism from many seasoned analysts. Critics argue that his belief in challenging a fighter like Anthony Joshua is unrealistic. Joshua, a highly decorated and experienced heavyweight, possesses years of training, numerous championship bouts, and proven endurance that Paul has yet to face. Observers have noted that Paul's physique and performance raise suspicions of potential use of performance-enhancing substances. While some defend Paul as training naturally, concerns persist due to changes in his body composition, explosiveness, and power. Many argue that drugs and anabolics play a key role in combat sports, enhancing explosiveness, recovery, and performance within the same weight class, a factor crucial for boxing, UFC, and other disciplines. This, they claim, explains the noticeable improvements in Paul's performance. Of course, his success is also supported by a strong team of trainers, coaches, and a rigorous regimen, but performance enhancers are alleged to provide a fundamental edge. Despite all the controversy, fans continue to place significant bets on this fight, making the betting action itself part of the ongoing debate surrounding Paul versus Joshua. Fans, casual bettors, and even some well-known personalities have been actively placing wagers on the outcomes, which has intensified the debate over whether the matchup is a legitimate sporting contest or merely a spectacle. So, you think Jake Paul could fake it? Do you think Anthony Joshua is going to risk his entire livelihood for Paul? One observer questioned. The response was firm. No, he wouldn't. It's over when he wants it to be over. Any kind of staged outcome would be illegal, and you'd go to jail. Since it's a professional fight, not an exhibition, large sums of money are being bet, adding to the controversy. Observers are traveling to watch in person, eager to see how it unfolds. Discussion of the fighter's size also came up, Paul at 6 feet and Joshua at 6 feet 6 inches, weighing around 245 pounds. Some noted Paul's previous loss to Tommy Fury and debated whether he had improved enough to be competitive. Allegations of a leaked script circulated online, claiming that prior fights against Jake Paul were staged. Some argued that Mike Tyson sold himself in their bout, damaging his legacy by participating in a fight perceived as scripted. A profile posted anonymously on X claimed to reveal the fight script, detailing each round from Paul's perspective, including Tyson's fatigue and the knockout sequence. While some scripts were fake or outdated, observers noted odd in-ring behavior. Tyson allegedly whispering instructions to Paul, referees signaling Paul to avoid certain moves, and other gestures that fueled suspicions of choreography. Matchroom Boxing CEO publicly denied that the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight is scripted, stressing that if the bout occurs, it will follow Queensberry rules as a professional fight, not an exhibition or pre-written show. Meanwhile, evidence cited from the Paul versus Tyson fight, such as Tyson biting his glove and whispering to Paul, suggested staged communication often seen in scripted bouts. The referee even instructed Paul to stop measuring, a boxing term for gauging the opponent before attempting a knockout, adding further intrigue to these allegations. In the middle of the fight, the referee literally instructed Jake Paul to stop measuring, fueling fresh controversy around the Anthony Joshua versus Paul matchup. Frank Smith warned that the event is less about sport and more about showmanship, arguing that rather than a legitimate contest, the bout is designed as entertainment, not a true test of skill. He suggested that what fans are witnessing is intended to sell and shock, rather than uphold boxing's competitive integrity. By framing it as serious entertainment, Smith cast doubt on how genuine or competitive the fight would truly be. At the same time, he expressed hope that a Fury-Joshua showdown might still happen in the future. Smith remained cautiously optimistic, noting that while the idea excites fans, not all proposed fights come to fruition due to logistical and contractual hurdles. When asked about critics claiming that Anthony Joshua is risking his legacy by taking the fight, Smith sympathized, pointing out that Joshua is an Olympic gold medalist and two-time unified heavyweight champion. If he doesn't finish the fight faster than he did against Francis, people may write it off, he added. Regarding speculation of secret agreements or contracts, it was clarified that this is an 8-round professional fight. Anthony Joshua would not have accepted it otherwise. It's not an exhibition, it's a real fight, and Joshua is going in to knock out Jake Paul. To silence doubters, experts emphasize that the bout is 100% genuine. Questions about why it is 8 rounds instead of 10 were answered simply. It likely won't go past the first round. Observers noted that while Jake Paul may be confident, this is serious entertainment, and his opponents are capable fighters. Analysts agreed that if Anthony Joshua does not knock out Paul quickly, it would reflect poorly on him. But the fight is real, not choreographed. Finally, the discussion turned to 2026, with plans still in motion for Joshua versus Tyson Fury, which many consider one of the biggest fights in the sport. Eddie Hearn, Joshua's promoter, also addressed scripting allegations, joking that the only script is Joshua's plan to knock out Paul quickly. His statement was meant to reinforce the seriousness of the bout and dismiss claims of prearranged outcomes. The controversy itself highlights how deeply the chatter has taken hold among fans. Experts reiterated, professional fights cannot be scripted or manipulated to devalue a champion, and Joshua would never hold back intentionally. As the debate rages on, fans continue to speculate. Is this finally the end of the Jake Paul era, or just another scandal he'll survive?